What's going on, guys? Matthias here. Well, I was just watching a few different things about a certain topic that I think a lot of people are talking a lot about right now, especially on Twitter. No surprise there. Gay marriage. I just want to give my opinion on it as someone who just so happens to be what people nowadays call bisexual. I do not give a shit what gender the person that I end up sleeping with has. The only thing I really give a fuck about is whether or not there's some kind of connection there, or whether or not we both want this consensual sex, right? That is all it is. That is all I give a fuck about. The gender does not matter to me, okay? The only thing that matters to me is attraction, and eventually, if I end up, getting feelings for this person, if that person can return said feelings, then sure, cool, have a relationship, who cares, right? But a thing that I don't understand is that a lot of these people that so very much want to be married. It's like, I understand the feeling of wanting to have this kind of legitimization of their relationship, if that's a word. Like, to have some kind of proof, I guess. I don't know why you would need some proof of your love, but I guess some people need that kind of gratification and stuff like that. Or they just want to have a big party with all their family there to accept them for who they are, which I totally understand. The need of, or the wanting to be accepted for who you are, that's totally fine. I get that. But some people just go way too far with it. And I think that I believe personally, I've always been of the belief that, and I'm not even religious in any kind of way, but what I'm trying to say is, I've always been of the, well, it's kind of funny how I'm using the word belief, but I don't know what else to call it. But basically, I've always been of the opinion, I should probably use that word. I've always been of the opinion that marriage is, at least in the Christian faith, and most other religious faiths, is between a man and a woman, because that is the, I guess, natural order of things. Because deep down in biology, and for hundreds of thousands of years, about, I think it's 100 and something thousand years that the human race, at least the modern human, Homo sapiens, has existed. Since the beginning, men and women has been the two gender roles that has to be, filled out. And, men did the hunting, women did the caretaking of the little ones, right? They took care of the children. They took care of the home, I guess. It's been like that for hundreds of years. Actually, thousands of years. But whatever. So basically, then, I'm not saying that gay people and stuff like that hasn't existed for as long as humans have. Probably. They probably have. Don't get me wrong. There might have been, there's also deviations within the animal kingdom. And by deviation, I don't mean it being bad. I just mean that it's not the norm. Normal meaning the norm. Not normal or unnormal as in it's weird or gross. Because I don't really care. It's just, it's technically, when you go down to all technicality, it is not normal to be gay. It's not. It shouldn't be seen as weird or grotesque or gross or whatever. It should, of course, be normalized. So if you're gay, you can just be gay, right? That's totally fine. But it shouldn't be seen as the norm, because the norm means that everyone does it. If everyone on Earth became gay, the human race would die out. That is fact. If the entirety of the human race stops having any kind of sexual relationships with the other gender, eventually over the years, the human race is gonna die out. That is just biological fact, right? Same thing as a man is unable to give birth to a child because he doesn't have the inner workings and, bodily functions that should create a child, right? The only kind of thing that a man has to create a child with is obviously his penis and the sperm that is contained within the testicles, right? Or semen, or whatever you want to call it, semen, sperm, whatever you want to call it. I don't remember the exact, thing. I just know that those two words exist and they're used in that context. So that's what it is. I'm not a native English speaker. I'm just trying to explain my viewpoint. He has that. A woman has the uterus and a womb, etc. All those words. I don't know the English equivalent of those words. I know them in Danish, but not in English. That's the thing. No, I know them in Danish, but not in English. Did I say it right? I don't know. Whatever. Basically, she has those things, and those two things together can create life. Not just one of the things on its own, or two of the same thing. It has to be male genitalia and female genitalia, and that creates a life. Basically, what a lot of people seem to not understand is that because women have, I think it's 2 X chromosomes, is it not? Yes, I think it is. Each person normally has 1 pair of sex chromosomes in each cell. Females have 2 X chromosomes, while males have 1 X and 1 Y chromosome. I was right. Okay, basically, so there's these chromosomes. Obviously, males have 1 X chromosome and 1 Y chromosome, whereas women have 2 X's. So basically, it all comes down to the biological side, the biological and scientific side of the human existence, right? So as I said, for hundreds of thousands of years, there's been specific roles filled out by people of these 2 genders, right? And during the time that humans have had civilizations and religious beliefs and stuff, there's always been some unfairness to basically everyone in, obviously depending on what part of the world you're from, some things are seen as weird or bad or stuff like that compared to other stuff that in other parts of the world, that thing might be completely normal. And other stuff that is normal in the first part of the world is weird there. So it's, depending on where you go, be prepared for maybe being ridiculed for doing something that you normally wouldn't see many people do there, or any for that matter, because they know it's unnatural in that part of the world. Like if you wear, shorts in Saudi Arabia, apparently some places there it is, as far as I know, that is not accepted because they have a specific belief there that that's not the right attire for men, right? Same thing as if a woman wore a short skirt there, she'd probably be stoned, which is of course sad. But as I said, different parts of the world have different types of beliefs and they have different types of rules you have to live by, laws, etc., whatever you want to call them. Or just certain unwritten rules that people just know because they lived there. They've lived there for hundreds of years. They would know that, right? Oh well. Yeah, technically. Their families have probably lived there for hundreds of years. So, what I'm trying to say is that if we go all the way back to the beginning with gay marriage and stuff like that, in different parts of the world, this is seen as unnatural. That's what I'm trying to come to the conclusion of, right? In Saudi Arabia and other places in the Middle East, I don't know why I keep coming back to Saudi Arabia, mostly because that's probably one of the places that first come to mind when you think of, of the Islamic faith. That is typically Saudi Arabia and places like that in the Middle East that has these types of beliefs. And, well, I could say Iran, Iraq, Syria, places like that, That's the basic ones, right? Most of the people there are typically of Islamic faith, which is, I don't have anything against the Islamic faith or the Christian faith or whatever. I just don't want to take part in any of it because I really kind of don't care. It's like whatever they want to believe, sure, believe in it, but that's it, really. But yeah, in that part of the world, gay marriage is of course seen as, well, of course, there it's of course seen as weird, whereas in the West, it's starting to be normalized, which I don't really care about it, but it's just people that keep fighting back against the church about getting, access, or whatever you want to call it, getting permitted to get a, to have a gay marriage. It's like, why is it that we keep doing that instead of just saying, you know what, fuck it. If the Christian church don't want to have anything to do with gay marriages, why don't we just, do it in the courthouse or anywhere else that doesn't have anything to do with Christianity or any other religion? Like, why don't we just do that so they have the same type of, what do you call it? Like the same type of, like the equivalent of a Christian marriage, but just within a different type of setting, I guess. So like, it's done in the courthouse or somewhere else, right? That would make sense. It would be so much less of a problem. It would be, well, so much less, does that make sense? I don't know. Whatever. It would just be less of a problem if they just did it like that, instead of having to go to church and have to battle with the fucking church to get access or allowance or whatever. I don't know what the word is. Be permitted, I guess, to have this gay marriage ceremony within the church. Do it anywhere else. That should be a thing, right? If people want to get married, I don't understand why they want to get married into a faith that basically hates them. Because Christianity, most people have probably read enough of the Bible to know that it says that if a man lays with another man or something like that, then that's punishable by death, right? I don't know exactly how, accurate that is to the original, wording of it, but from what I know, that's typically what they go with. That's a translation they want to go with, that if a man sleeps with another man, then he must be put to death, Which is, of course, sad that some people are so fucked in the head that they don't understand that it's just dumb. It's fucking dumb to kill people off just because they don't want to be with a woman or don't want to be with a man or whatever, right? It makes no sense to me. I do not give a fuck what you're into, as long as it's not children, animals, or dead people, and as long as everyone involved in whatever you're doing is consenting to it, then I couldn't give any less of a shit about what you do. Do whatever. Just have fun, I guess, and make sure everyone is consenting to whatever it is and is not uncomfortable with it. Then do whatever. Have fun. Fuck around. Find out, It's like, just experiment. Have fun, right? But be aware that some people may not accept that viewpoint, especially not in the Middle East, sadly. Some people in the US might not accept that. Some people, even in Denmark, where I live, may not agree with that. Which is, people can have different opinions, or differentiating opinions. Is that the word? I don't know. People can have different opinions, right? And that's totally fine. But as I said, I don't understand why some people want to, have a constant battle with the church about getting permission to have a gay marriage ceremony, I guess, in a Christian church. Why not just have it anywhere else? That's basically my viewpoint. I don't understand why people keep doing this shit. Just have it anywhere else. Just push for a law that makes it, I guess a law, right? To make it so you can go anywhere else, right? You can just go to the courthouse and whatever, and then if you want to have this ceremony and you want to have all these things, sure, cool. It's no problem. They just have to find a good day for it, where the courthouse isn't being used for anything else, right? Or just do it anywhere else where they're not, and just have, the mayor or someone else who might want to participate in this and do something like that, where they can legally do that, where someone from, I don't know, the government or whatever in the city or something like that, in whatever town you live in, can be there and legitimize that marriage. That shouldn't be that hard to do, to be honest. Especially now in the West, because we're so accepting of a lot of things, maybe too accepting on some points, on some things, I guess. Some things we're a bit too accepting around, sadly. There's some things that I wish we could be without, which I'll probably make a separate video talking about that. But that is just what that is, right? So, yeah. Yeah. So basically, just to end this video, I guess I just want to say I don't have anything against people who want to be married within the Christian faith. I just don't believe in any kind of religion. I think it's unnecessary and it only creates war and other shit like that. I guess, like, in some situations, of course, like, well, that was a bit... Okay, I was a bit too quick there. I don't believe it only creates war and suffering, but it does sometimes, and other times during war that has nothing to do with faith necessarily, or even if it does, it still has some kind of, I guess, healing power, I guess, on the people affected by it, because they have something to seek. What do you call it? To seek this kind of peace within, right? They have something to go to kind of, like, you know, pray for certain things, stuff like that. While I personally believe that, like, praying doesn't help shit, it's still, for some people, it's still like an outlet for their fear and their, you know, maybe even their anger. I don't know. Like, it's an outlet for them to get these things out within prayers and stuff, to ask for, you know, a better time tomorrow, like a better crop harvest, or whatever you want to pray for, right? I understand that part, but I just don't believe in it, because I believe in science, I believe in biology, I believe in basically any scientifically proven fact, and that is basically just my opinions. So you can agree with them, you can disagree with them all you want. It's probably not going to change my opinions, unless, of course, you give me some very good, what do you call it, like some very good scientifically proven facts otherwise, right? So yeah, that's it. Well, if you want to get married to someone of the same sex, I do not care. That is totally your life, and if both of you are consenting to it, then go for it, I guess. I just think that instead of battling with the church about it, it should just be something that you could do in any other setting that wouldn't piss off the church, and it wouldn't cause you so much bullshit. So it basically wouldn't cause so much bullshit for anyone, actually. So, yeah. I know it doesn't really seem like the easiest solution, because it'll take some time, but eventually, I hope we'll get there. So there'll be some kind of legit type of equivalent to marriage for gays who want to be married, right? Whether it's two females or two males, doesn't matter. If they want to be married, then of course they should have some kind of equivalent to that, and call it marriage, I guess, but just maybe not within the Christian church, because the Christian faith obviously don't like them, that's just how their faith is, and it's always been. So I guess that's, like, what can you do about it? So yeah, as I said, I hope you well, I'm not hoping that you agree with me. I just want to share my opinions, and if you agree with me, then that's great, and if you disagree, then, you know, like, let me know why. But be civil, please. This is not a video that I want to, you know, have people hating on me or anyone else, for that matter, just because you disagree. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you think about it. If you have any other ideas that you would, you know, suggest necessarily. Yeah, I thought this was a pretty cool video to make. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed what you saw here, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe down below, share it with friends and family. go check out our community posts, and go check out our Honest History server, as well as the nightcrawlermaker.com Discord server, because we'll have some news there around something very soon. So if you want to be here for that, again, subscribing and liking the video would definitely help me, and it will also help you to get notifications if YouTube will actually fucking work for once. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you all very soon. Peace.